involved. They have came on long journeys to be here, starting all the way back at the early point of 2015 in their own intermediate football championship. We're here at Kingspan Breffni Park, a good day for football. With me, I have James Regan from the PRO, the Hollymount-Carramore GA club. James, an exciting day for the club. It's an amazing pedestal to be on for the club like Hollymount-Carramore.
Oh, it's an amazing day, surely. No, it's an exciting time for the whole club, for the whole parish, for the players involved, the committees, and the families. You know, it's an exciting big day. It's the biggest day we've had in our short history of the club. So we're delighted to be here. We hope we get a positive result. There's a lot of work gone in behind the scenes with the players, with the management, and with the club. But yeah, it's an exciting day. There's a buzz and butterflies in the stomachs here.
We're streaming live today with a local streaming website. You've been a good relationship so far. You were together for the county final when you defeated the Neil down in McHale Park. That moved on then to the Melvin Gales game and the Connacht semi-final, which went to extra time. Then on to Pearse Stadium, where you had that thrilling finish against Moy Cullen, all the way on to today. So today, the fourth time being televised live. It's suiting your lads down to the ground, I think, this television cameras.
Yeah, I have to say the boys took to the live streaming like a duck to water, and I have to say the local streaming is like our lucky charm now at this stage. No, it's a great initiative, and it broadcasts the match to our supporters all over the world. You know, and people even closer to home who can't come here today. So it's a brilliant initiative. It promotes our club, it promotes the GA, it promotes the lads out here. So people get to see them, get to see their skills, get to see the people that they wouldn't usually see. So in fairness to Liam Horn, now it's a great idea, and we've fully backed it, and they've fully backed our club. So we're delighted here, and we've two good sponsors on board today. We've Jerry Croghan on post in Clamars and Ballyhonest, and we've DW Jetting Services in Ballinrobe. So we'd like to thank them too for backing us here today. So yeah, a good day.
Yeah, we'll talk about our sponsors in detail after a while. Before we do that, we'll just talk about a little bit about Loughinisland. We don't know an awful lot about them. A very secretive camp. They're keeping their cards close to their chest, even close to throw in here. Would we know an awful lot about Loughinisland from Hollymount-Carramore's point of view?
Well, I suppose the main thing we know about any team at this stage of the competition is that they're winners. You know, they're county down champions, they're Ulster champions, so they're winners. Our own team have come onto the pitch there now, but the one thing I suppose we do know about Loughinisland is they're a strong physical team. Like, they've a good player there at midfield, Jad Gordon. He did play in the All-Ireland final back in 2011, so I think the team is built around him. But having watched their Ulster final, they're a strong physical team, very defensive, you know, so it's going to be a tight game here today. But like as I said there at the start, they're winners. Like any team in an All-Ireland semi-final are undefeated, so they know how to win, so they'll have confidence here today.
Thanks very much, James. With me also here is Kevin McHugh, another stalwart of the Hollymount-Carramore club. Kevin, you have a lot of involvement here. Your father is secretary of the club, is that right?
That's right, yeah. There's been great excitement in our household now for the last year. The old lad is recently retired, and I do ring him from time to time just to get all the information, and I do ask him how's retirement going, and his description of retirement is one day is better than the next, and the main reason for that really is because the focus is totally on the club. Like, my brother is also playing, like he's been carrying a knock now on and off the last couple of months, but hopefully today he should be 100%. He's had trouble with his metatarsal foot. He's been in and out of a boot during the year. He's had his his ligaments in his knee sort of damaged, carrying one leg for most of the year, but he's 100% fit today, and hopefully he'll have a good battle with their full forward inside. I think the down team play a one-man full forward line, so I'm expecting a good tough battle inside in the full forward line, and hopefully Darren will come out on top today.
And for anyone who has been following the progress of Hollymount-Carramore, your brother Darren has really epitomised the transition all the way through the competition. They've patched him up, they've put him into battle every time a big game comes around, and he always performs. Are you confident that he'll be able to finish out the full match today with the injury that he's carrying?
Hopefully now. I don't think he has any excuses today. He's gone through a lot of rehab, he's done a lot of work in the gym, he's gone to yoga, and I'm sure that he'll come through today's test, no bother at all. But like, there is strength and depth there. We have a very young team. I know Ray Kennelly is there, still cornerback. I don't know how he's doing it. He's some man for one man, like he's still going at 40 years young. But on the bench we have loads of young players to come in, and it's like these days it's a 20-man game, 25-man game, 30-man three-man game because everybody in the panel plays their parts, and matches like today are won in training. Like, everybody's fighting for a place. It's not fighting for the 15, it's just fighting even to get 5-10 minutes on that game. And we've strength and depth. We've a very young panel, apart from one or two of the older state guys, but we've a very young panel, and they're all hungry and they're all eager to get on.
Definitely. And also we have to mention that this couldn't be possible without our sponsors, and you have a list of a few sponsors who have came on board in the last week to make sure this is streamed around, not only back to Mayo, but to Down and to all the way around the world. So very thankful to the sponsors who came on board in the last week. So Kevin, you're going to bring us through a few of them?
Yeah, this isn't an exhaustive list at all, but I was told just to mention a few of these names. So JJ Welch, Ballinrobe Jetting Services, cousin of Niall and Dwayne Campbell, he's come on board to provide this live streaming today. Also Jerry Crohan on Post has provided sponsorship. I'm told to give best wishes to Shane, Ashleen and Sinead, who are all over in London looking in, and Katie and Joanne McCormick also living in London. Enda as well as a sub today, he's one of the young members of the team and one for the future definitely. Best wishes also to Niall McMahon from New York. $1,000 arrived in the post in the brown envelope. It did arrive, yes, and we're very grateful for it. And Louise, also his sister over in New York, she had her time also playing for New York in Crow Park a few years ago. Was very unlucky not to win an All-Ireland herself, so we're hopefully on the same bat looking to get back to Crow Park today. Excellent. And finally the Fearix of Rathone, yes. Best grub in Ireland I'm told, yeah, no doubt she won't go hungry there. So uncle of Pádraig, Kevin and Declan. So we've loads of sponsorship. There's been loads more during the year. I know the calendar that took off as well around Christmas. We had a quiz around St. Stephen's Day. Everybody in the parish was there. The calendar for the year involved was under 8, under 12, 14, every team. Pictures of everybody involved in the club, and that has been sold out at this stage. So, and we've had loads of sponsors that are all named on that as well. So it's been great for the club, great atmosphere at home, and great for the area.
Good stuff. Thank you for that, Kevin. You just wait with us, Kevin, because as we just see, the Loughinisland team are taking their place on the field for their team photograph. Hollymount-Carramore are warming up there behind and are ready for action. We have about 15 minutes or so to throw in, but before we do, the lads will stay with me. We'll just go through how we came here today. It all started for Hollymount-Carramore way back on the 23rd of May 2015 in the round 1 of the Intermediate Football Championship. We had Hollymount 3-15, Tourmakeady 3 points, and I suppose from the outset there, with a result like that in your first round of your championship, you were looking in pretty good shape at the start of the year. We moved on then, Hollymount-Carramore defeating Burrishoole, and then on to a defeat over against Swinford in round 3 of the Intermediate Football Championship. The quarter-final of the Intermediate Football Championship saw Hollymount-Carramore defeating Park by 2-9 to 4 points, and then on to a semi-final win by 1-14 to Belmullets 8 points. It all came to a crescendo in Mayo then, as Hollymount-Carramore defeated their near neighbours, the Neil, by 11 points to 7 points in McHale Park. A tight encounter, an exciting finish to that one. It moved on then all the way back to McHale Park again a few weeks later, as Hollymount-Carramore defeated Melvin Gales, the Leitrim champions, by 2-13 to 1-14 after extra time. Finally, there before Christmas, we had Hollymount-Carramore defeating Moycullen by 9 points to 8 in Pearse Stadium. An exhaustive journey around the province, James Regan, but I'm sure you were with them every step of the way.
Yeah, we had a great run in the campaign here now, and we've been undefeated from in the group stage right up until today, and hopefully we continue that on today. But we've come to it the hard way, because as you said there, we had to go to extra time in the Connacht semi-final, and we had to do that with 14 men for all of the second half of normal time. So it's been tough, and the Connacht final then we only won by 1 point. So we were put to the pin of our collar there by a very good, strong, skillful Moycullen team. So hopefully now that will stand to us here today, because if you come into a game with some big wins, big scores, you don't know, you haven't been tested, but we've been tested 3, 4, 5 times this year now. The Neil again was another hard, strong game. They're an up and coming team, and I might have a little punch on them next year for the Intermediate Championship. So yeah, we've been tested, so hopefully that stands to us here today. The only thing I suppose, but it's the same for every team, we've had a break in momentum, because our last game now was on the 15th of November, where we had to go through the Christmas and the holidays and the turkey and the ham and whatever. So you'd wonder how the boys will react now after a bit of a break, but hopefully we'll have another positive result. And I suppose on that note, I'd just like to introduce our club chairman, Liam Cohn, because he'd have a lot of the behind the scenes info, as we say, the lads do all the work on the pitch, but there's a lot of work that goes off the pitch. And Liam, how do you feel how the club is going and getting here today?
Oh, today is a great day for our club. It's a great day for our community. We've worked awful hard for the last 5 years, and this today is just what we deserve for all the effort they've gone in. So many people have helped us. We can't go and mention them all because it's too many to mention. So many people have sponsored us, and today so many with the live streaming has been a great help to our expats and to our people in America or in England, all over the world indeed. So look, a great day for the club, yeah.
Yes, Liam, and you've a vested interest in this game as well. Have you any relatives playing, or will you have extra butterflies in the stomach, not just as chairman, but people involved in the family as well?
Oh, I have a son and 6 nephews involved out here. So look football is a disease in our house, but we love that disease. We relish it every day we go out. We hate the days without football. We look forward to the days with football. So today is no different, but today is a great day for us. A great day.
Thanks very much, Liam. I'll let you get back to your administrative duties. Just watch the cabling there as you go past, as James Regan joins me again. Now, from a Dime point of view, we looked at how they have progressed throughout the whole year. Loughinisland went to Down Intermediate Football Championship quarter-final, where they defeated Tullylish 2-12 to 2-10 that day, a good tight game. On to the semi-final, Loughinisland 1-12, Ballymartin of Down 7 points, and then on to their county final, where Loughinisland easily winners over Anriacht of Down by 3-11 to 8 points. A team, in fact, in Anriacht, spearheaded by the Marty Clark, Down footballer Marty Clark. They had a long Ulster Championship campaign with a preliminary round match against Greenlock of County Derry, which they won 2-15 to 11 points. Then Loughinisland played a quarter-final against Eden Dork, where they won 113 to 2-5. Loughinisland 4-7 to do Hamlet of Monaghan in the semi-final, and they finished off with their Ulster Club intermediate final, where they defeated Railtnamara of Bundoran and Donegal by 4-1 to 7 points. As we said, we don't know an awful lot about them, but there may have been a few people from Carramore at that particular game, that 4-1 to 7 points up in Owenbeg that day. James?
Yes, I suppose we were lucky that they played their Ulster final a week after we played our Connacht final, so we knew who we were going to be up against. So yeah, the management and I suppose a few club spies went up and had a little look at them. But it was very hard to take anything from that game. It was one. I don't know if people remember back. That Sunday was the Gale Force Sunday, and Loughinisland scored 4-1, which would be an unusual score for an intermediate match. But I don't think we can read too much out of that game. Like, we might have got their style of play, but they were a far better team than that scoreline would give them credit for. We're not taking anything here for granted today. It's going to be a tough battle. Yes,
all reports from that day is it was a whirlwind situation. Went long periods Loughinisland that day without scoring, went in fact 41 minutes of the game without scoring, but the 4 goals were crucial. And if you look back to their semi-final, the stats in their semi-final, 4 goals there as well against Do Hamlet of Monaghan. So it's something that Hollymount-Carramore have to look out for. They have goal scorers in their team, Loughinisland.
Yeah, like every GA player knows, since they're 6 years of age, goals win games, and we have to stop that here today. You know, we have to be very tight at the back, but that's the system we usually play. It's been very tight at the back. Loughinisland would have gone a long period of that game without a score, but we went 22 minutes of the second half against Moycullen without a score. So you'll have that in games. The only thing that any club cares about is the result at the end. You don't care how long you go without a score once you have more scores at the end than the opposition.
Yes, definitely, and Hollymount-Carramore won't mind, or either side, in fact, Loughinisland won't mind as long as they're on the winning side here today. We'll just go through the managers. Jerome Johnston is the manager of the Loughinisland team, and the Hollymount-Carramore team, Tom Connolly from the great Connolly family tradition. Maybe Kevin, you can tell us a bit about Tom and how he's prepared for today's match.
Okay, yeah, Tom's come in this year and he's done a fantastic job. He's a great man motivator. When he starts speaking in the dressing room, everybody listens, and once he's finished speaking, you're ready to go through the wall for him. Like, he really motivates you in that dressing room. He's very vocal, he'll get you going, and he's a great backroom team behind him. Then you have sort of the team around him has been very strong, and they've done unbelievable work behind the scenes. Paul Kane as well does a lot of the sort of analysis, coaching. He's been up and down with himself and Tom looking into this Loughinisland excellent team, and they've left no stone unturned. I know last week they were up here for a training session. They've gone through video analysis, and they're a very in-depth management team. They've really brought up the standard in the last couple of years. Now today wouldn't have been possible without the other managers before, and I know Jarlath Gillens was there at the very start. He did great work. We were unlucky. Then Noel came in and was taken, then won the league. Won promotion, and then he went off to the Mayo setup, and then Tom has come in and just taken that step that that build-up that they've done already and taken it to the next level, and it's really shown this year. Like, we were very close last year. We lost by a point in the county final, and we just needed that sort of direction and guidance that Tom has really brought on. As I said, his strength really is he's a phenomenal man, motivator. He's great in the dressing room, great speaker, and he's not afraid just to get people to do what he says. And the balance between all the backroom staff is just been fantastic this year.
Yes, and even if we look at league form for Hollymount-Carramore this year, they were playing in Division 1A of the Mayo GA leagues, finished second behind a star-studded Castlebar Mitchell's team, and were there in the shake-up all the way to the end. So when you look at the statistics at club level, they have been competing with the top 7 or 8 within Mayo GA. Even though they were only intermediate club, we're still competing against senior teams at club level. And also the nature of them results, only been beaten twice in league performance this year. All them results were hard grafted wins. That's a certain sign in a team that they can graft out results in tight games. That'll augur well for today as well.
Oh yeah, we've been very we've had loads of leaders this year that have really stepped up to the mark. Darren Cohn is captain and name, but there's so many leaders in that squad, and there's young leaders as well. We have Dermot Costa there wing forward. He was captain last year, but he's great influence on the team. He always sort of drives through. Pádraig Fearick got a club star this year along with Darren Cohn, and deservedly so. But for me as well, Kevin Costello this year has been superb. He's been my early club man of the year, club person of the year. He's pushing near 30 now, but he's legs like a 17, 18-year-old. He will run all day, he will work all day. Kevin Fearick is back from a couple of years away. He's a Gooch by name and by nature. He's an unbelievable player. He's a playmaker. Once he gets the ball, he's the head up, and he's had a real dynamic edge to the forward line. And Ian Costello has really stepped up as well. 45s, he's got super scores this year throughout the year, and those have been crucial scores that has really pushed on. A 45 in games like this is a difference between winning and losing. It's a 1 point game. This time of year, a very slow pitch. It's going to be very an intense battle. I know both teams play a sweeper, so it's going to be a patient, slow build-up, and a couple of frees, a couple of big kicks from the free takers will make a huge difference in who wins this today.
Okay, thank you very much, Calvin, for that. You're going to join us again at half-time as we're going analysing. At this stage now, just as the crowd starts to develop here and both teams get ready to get their final preparations of the warm-up, we're going to take an interval from the commentary and the presentation to get into our commentary positions. So we'll join you in a few seconds with commentary from the game. It's currently 6 minutes to 2 o'clock, so we have 6 minutes to throw in.
Around the base. Teams and officials, 5 minutes to national anthem.
Yeah, we're getting ready here now for a throw in. The teams are starting to line up here today. I walked the pitch there maybe 10 or 15 minutes ago before before the team came out. The pitch looks well. The grass has been cut during the week, but it is very soft. It's a soft, spongy pitch. In fairness, with the weather we've had the last 6 to 7 weeks, it's as good as we could expect here today. The Hollymount-Carramore team will line out as per programme, with Niall Campbell in goal, our full back line of Ray Kennelly, Darren McHugh and Declan Feerick, our half back line, which is a very strong line for us, with Pádraig Feerick, Barry Sheridan and Robert Malloy. Midfield we have Keelan McNamara and Stephen Cohn. Our half forward line, then we've Kevin the Gooch Feerick, we've Ian Costello and his brother Kevin on the other wing. Our full forward line, back from suspension, Conor Kane. He'd have missed the Connacht final, so it's great to have Conor back. Full forward, our captain Darren Cohn, and in the corner then we've Dermot Costello. We still have to wait to find out the exact down team. They're not lining out per programme, but Adrian has more information on that.
Yes, just to bring it through on the Loughinisland team, reports just came into the media studio here. They line out as selected on the programme, bar one change. Number 29 Seamus O'Hare comes in at corner forward for the number 15 Aidan Dixon. So to take it through from the start, we have Kieran Gordon in goal. The full back line consists of Raymond Nixon, Paddy McGoran, have Dowan O'Toole at midfield along with Dan Gordon. Dan Gordon captains the team from midfield, and as we said before, the experience of playing in the two. We have Aaron McClements, Conor McGoran and the number 29 Seamus McGoran, as we said earlier on. James, the crowd has begun to develop here in front of us. Okay, hopefully the technical difficulties will stay away from us today, James. But as I said, it's developing here, the crowd, the atmosphere, both teams looking pretty tense and getting ready for action. They'll want to get straight into battle. What's it like for the club to be here at this elevated stage of the AIB Club Championship?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's an absolutely fantastic day for the club, for the parish, for the families. There's a great buzz. I passed through Hollymount there this morning, and the lads' bus headed off at 9:30, and the supporters' bus, which was full to capacity, headed off at 10 o'clock. But I'm looking around here today, and the stand is fairly well full, which and it's a fine big stand here in Cavan, so that's a testament to the amount of people that have come up here from South Mayo. And I actually noticed there's a few people from our neighbouring clubs. There's a few from Davids, Clamars, one or two from Ballinrobe, so we've got great support here. And I have to mention the amount of good luck messages we'd have got this week on Facebook and Twitter from every club, I'd say, in Mayo. It's been absolutely brilliant. The whole county is here behind us, and I'd just like to mention the best of luck to Ardnaree, who also play in the Junior Championship All-Ireland semi-final today. Yeah, we've had fantastic support around the county, and actually we got some nice messages from some Galway clubs, and we'll just take a break here for the national anthem.
Well, the scene is set here for this AIB Club Championship All-Ireland Club semi-final. In our blue, fully blue over on the left-hand side of the field, shooting into the scoreboard side of the ground, we have Loughinisland, the Ulster champions. In their usual white colours with their blue and orange trim is from all the way from South Mayo, Hollymount-Carramore. Referee for today's match is Niall Ward, all the way from Garrycastle in County Westmeath. It could go down to the wire, not an awful lot of it's expected to be between this. We could have extra time if possible here today, and it's going to be a fight all the way to the very end. Already we're looking at the lineups. We can't see any major changes in the lineup. Number 9 has gone to centre forward. Is that Ian Costello wearing the number 9 jersey down there at centre forward? As referee Niall Ward throws in the game ball in here. We start our clock as straight away it's a free for Hollymount-Carramore, and they go straight across the middle of the field. No 65s marked here in Kingspan Breffni Park, as down goes Robbie Malloy for the first scoring chance of possibly of the game. No wind really here to report in Kingspan Breffni Park today. A slight breeze blowing in towards the stand, into the diagonal, into the far corner, the bottom left hand corner of the field, but not really much favour to any team at this initial stage. It's just outside the 45-metre line. Darren Cohen lines up this particular one. He's been the Hollymount-Carramore top scorer so far in the championship. Can he register the first score of the game? It's high, it's dropping. The goalkeeper's running to the left post, and it's out to the left and wide. Nervous starts there by both teams, I suppose, James, but a scoreable chance there possibly.
Yeah, it was a scoreable chance. So there is a slight breeze now that would have been behind Darren for that kick. But yeah, it's going to take both teams 10 or 50, or well, maybe 5 to 10 minutes to settle down. It's a big day for all these lads.
On the attack comes Loughinisland with the number 5, Paul Digney, racing inside the 45-metre line. Pádraig Feary comes to challenge. It goes across the box, edge of the D, but still on for Loughinisland. They're trying to work a scoring position. Another sign of the slippery surface there, just in front of the Hollymount-Carramore goal, as 2 players lost their footing going down on the ball. Number 29 in that particular moment, Seamus O'Hare had that shot. We've seen this before, the short kick-outs by Hollymount-Carramore as Robbie Malloy goes down the ball. He takes a hit but holds his balance. Back through to Barry Sheridan at centre half-back. All the way through the middle field to Stephen Cohen. Back to Barry Sheridan as he runs up alongside us in front of the stand here at Kingspan Breffni Park. Late challenge there by the number 8, Davin O'Toole for Loughinisland, and that will be another scoring position straight in front of the post where the ball landed. James, good clearance out of the defence there that time, James.
Yeah, Barry Sheridan has started very strong here today, and in fairness, Barry's in a great vein of form. He won man of the match in the county, or in the Connacht final. He won man of the match in the Connacht semi-final, so he's in a great vein of form here, and he number 8 for Loughinisland came in late there, so this is a good chance here for us to get in the scoreboard. Darren is just trying to find his feet, and it's on his natural side, the left hand side of the goal with his right foot, and I think he has here in for Hollymount-Carramore. Darren wouldn't have trained much over the last 2 to 3 months because of an injury, so it's great for him to get on the score sheet. He will do his confidence the world of good.
Yes, we have exactly 2 minutes on the clock here. First score of the game with his second free. He didn't convert the first one, but definitely that one was straight through the middle. 1 point to Hollymount-Carramore. No score yet for Loughinisland as number 9 Dan Gordon goes high to take that. He's done it in Croke Park, and he's doing it here today in Breffni Park. Carrying the ball into the half forward line, Conor McGoran. The McGoran's linked up with number 12 Johnny Flynn. It's coming through. Goal chance for Loughinisland. He comes across, it comes off the post and across the face of the goal, and we're given a square ball. I think on that particular instance Johnny Flynn hand passed it across to the number 13 Aaron McLennan's, but referee judged to have been in the square. Get out of jail card there for Hollymount-Carramore.
Yeah, we had a lucky escape there. Did a man on the overlap. Niall Campbell is a big goalkeeper, so he's a hard goalkeeper to beat. Your man hand passed it, but the guy receiving it was in the square.
Hollymount-Carramore back on the attack again. Darren Cohen. This game has got off to an electric pace. Another scoring chance. It comes across the face of the goal. The umpires look at it. Another score for Darren Cohen. He's been the spiritual leader up front all year. He's starting off very well, James.
Yeah, 2 scores in the first 4 minutes here for Darren. That's a great start. That's the start we wanted. That's the start we'd have prayed for in South Mayo. But that's a big turnaround. To have a goal chance down one end and to come all the way up the pitch and get a score, that's a big turnaround for us. But we need everyone with us playing with the slight breeze into the town end, as they say here in Breffni Park, Cavan.
Yes, definitely. That's a turnaround of 4 points. It should have been a goal down one end. It ended up being a point for Hollymount-Carramore at the other, as again Stephen Cohn comes through a ruck of plays. In fact, that's Ian Costello this time. Ian has played very, very well and has orchestrated the attack for Hollymount-Carramore. The master of the team, Ray Kennelly, on the ball. He lets that into Kevin or Dermot Costello. Back into number 9. I think that's Keelan McNamara, or is it Stephen Cohn again? They're battling as hard as he can. Number 10 for Loughinisland, Johnny McCarthy gets on the play and lets that ball forward. Out in front comes Declan Fearick, and all the way across number 7 for Loughinisland, Rory Mason comes away. A forest of white shirts crowding around him, but the referee has adjudged that the Carramore overcrowded him and for foul on that particular. A little bit of afters here, a little bit of pushing and shoving here in front of the stand to get the stand elevated. It's spilling out in all sections of the field here. But referee Niall Ward has taken control of the situation. Back the play goes to the Loughinisland half back line. Number 12 all the way out to the wing. It comes through the middle of the field. The number 6 Conor O'Toole for Loughinisland. He spreads it out wide. They're using the wings to a lot more use in this half play, especially against the minor breeze which has started to pick up in this particular moment. They're working their way into a scoring position. Number 14 for Loughinisland, Conor McGurran. There's a McGurran at full back. There's a McGurran at full forward. Off the ball, shoving there. Referee has seen it and he's given a free out. I think that for a particular instance for a third man challenge, I think, James.
Yeah, third man challenge there. I just see Ray Kennelly back entering the pitch again after getting treated for an injury. There's 5.5 minutes gone here, and we'd have taken this start. We're 2 points to no score up here, and we'd have definitely taken this before the game. The ref, I have to say, has got a good handle on the game because it's a physical game so far, but the conditions don't allow for beautiful football.
Stephen Cohn lets that ball into the corner forward position, but it trickles out. Darren, the greasy surface here, caught hold of that ball and it trickled out to the left and wide. Just to go back through a few things we're going to cover throughout the course of the day. Our junior reporter here behind us is Liam Henley, and Liam will be helping us out throughout the day. We'll be also keeping an eye on Rathote versus St Mary's in the other semi-final. That match is on down in Limerick today, so we'll be keeping updates on that. And as well as that, we'll be having a look at Ardnaree against Rockcarry in the Junior Football Championship. That's down in Park Sean. As Loughinisland go on the attack again, they look dangerous from this position. The ground cuts up. Darren McHugh puts on a little bit too much pressure there. It looked to be on Conor McGurran, and it looks like a first scoring chance here possibly for Loughinisland.
Yes, Loughinisland will be looking to get on the score sheet here, but I know I've referred to the breeze maybe 2 or 3 times now, but it seems to be picking up here in Cavan. Looking at all the flags here now, we have the benefit here in the first half, which would be a complete opposite from the Connacht final where we played against the breeze. So we need every score here. Hopefully this one will drop short, fingers crossed.
Yes, and this one is at the edge of the D. We've a hold up in play just as one of the Loughinisland players, I think it's the number 9, is it number 9 or 19 or maybe 29, Seamus O'Hare is receiving a little bit of treatment out on the edge of the D, roughly around where the ball is going to be kicked. Stepping up to take it is Rory Mason. I think he was listed in the forwards earlier on in the season. He was a goal scorer definitely in the Ulster final against Railton Amara, Rory Mason, and on this occasion he's just outside the edge of the D, hoping to open the account of Loughinisland. He kicks it, it's looking to drop short, but it just about clears Niall Campbell's crossbar for Loughinisland's first score of the game in the 8th minute. That'll settle them down no end.
Yeah, that was a score they needed to get into this game, because in fairness they've probably had as much possession as we've had, but they just hadn't got off the score line. We need to get some of our bigger lads into the game now, the likes of Porrick, Fearick, Stephen Cohn, these lads who have played well for us all year, so hopefully now we'll get them back into it.
For those of you who have joined us late, you're joining the AIB Club semi-final between Loughinisland in the blue and Hollymount-Carramore of Mayo in the white. We have exactly 9 minutes on the clock here. We have 2 points to Hollymount-Carramore. We have 1 point to Loughinisland. As we look at Loughinisland again, another technical one there, a little bit of off the ball stuff, another scoreable chance there, a gift there, and again this gives Darren Cohn a chance to put his and Hollymount-Carramore's 3rd point on the board. A nice gift there to get.
Yeah, nice gift to get. I think it was actually for an off the ground defence, and it's Kevin Fearick, Kevin the Gooch as we call him up our way, will be taking this score with a left foot. So he's just striking it now, and it's there. A nice sweet score, and well done, Kevin. So yeah, we'd have taken this start now after 9 minutes, like 3 points to 1 in an All-Ireland semi-final. I think any team in the country would have taken this start.
Yes, both sides have settled into this game now as number 11 for Ryan Strani goes through for that one. It comes across the half-back line. Loughinisland very good at keeping possession and bringing the game from defence into attack as the number 5 gets on ball here, Paul Digney. Paul Digney all the way into Conor McGoran. Conor McGoran takes it up the left-hand touchline. He turns inside, but all the Hollymount-Carramore defence has streamed back inside the 45-metre line, providing that cover. The turnover eventually comes as Declan Fearick picks up, but he in turn loses possession, and Loughinisland are back in possession again, all the way down the stand side of the field. Dan Gordon takes it through the challenges. Keelan McNamara and Kevin Costello in a hot pursuit. Back through the hands again. They have no option only to go back the way as the defence of Hollymount-Carramore stands firm. Again they try and penetrate. Mason is on the ball. He lets us outside to McGoran. McGoran touches it down, but Paul Digney just can't get his hands on that particular ball. Comes across again to McGoran. McGoran, a lot of play, a lot of slow build-up play. The edge of the D finds Aaron McClemens. He takes a shot and it drips out to the right and wide. We can see the pattern developing here. Hollymount-Carramore happy to let Loughinisland have the ball outside the scoring zone.
Yeah, it's the way we play. It's the way we've played in the league championship all year. We defend in numbers and we attack in numbers. There's a few nice matchups there. I see Keelan McNamara has taken Dan Gordon. Keelan, in fairness to him, is a strong physical lad, and he'll be well suited for this battle. Keelan's the type of lad, you give him a job, he will do it to a T. So a good ball in here now, and
it comes back inside, and Carramore are on the attack against Cohn in a scoring position. It's high and it's to the left, and it just drifts wide again. Good attacking play, but the finish just not there. He's a self-confessed, he shoots on sight. He shot on sight that time, but it didn't go over the bar. But it's good to see him getting on the ball so much at this early stage, Darren Cohn.
Yeah, exactly. Darren's our leader, he's our captain, and as I said, he wouldn't have trained much over the last couple of weeks with an injury, so the more ball he gets on early in the game will bring on his sharpness.
Up go the big men in the middle of the field. The Forest of Hands brings it down to Aaron McClemens. He comes back through the centre. Loughinisland well able to hold the ball at this side of this area of the field. McClemens is back in on the play again. He hurled it earlier in the move. He's back up Lincoln again. All the way back to Conor O'Toole. Conor O'Toole into McGoran. McGoran has handled a lot of ball in the first 12 minutes of this game. He takes it past Pádraig Fearick. He has a shot, and that looks as if it's gone to the left and wide again. 2 wides in succession now for Loughinisland. They haven't scored yet from play, and we have nearly 13 minutes on the clock here. The short kick-out strategy is usually employed, but not in this particular instance by Niall Campbell. It comes out high, but Dan Gordon is there again. He knows where to position his body for them high balls as Loughinisland comes straight down the middle. It's outside the 45-metre line, not yet in a scoring position. A little push on that particular instance, I think it was by Darren McHugh. It's coming across the field. Number 5 over there is Paul Digney. He's got on a lot of ball at these early stages. Hollymount-Carramore still defending in speed, but these guys have speed. Scoring chances, he comes through high. Crossbar, just above the crossbar and over the bar on that particular instance. I think that was Rory Mason, the number 7, cutting in along the left touchline. Now, very easily cut through there, and very could have been a goal, James.
Yeah, and it's very unlike us to be so open down the middle. Like, that's twice now they've got in for a decent goal chance, which is very unlike us. Like, we're a defensive team and we wouldn't have conceded many goals in the championship. So we'll need to tighten up there if we're to get to an All-Ireland final where we want to be.
Loughinisland really coming into that game. 2 points already on the board by Rory Mason, as Ray Kennelly adjudged to have fouled there on Ryan Stranney. It looked like a fair shoulder from here, but nevertheless it's a free in, and play continues as number 12 Johnny Flynn gets on the ball. It's coming across the middle again. Hollymount-Carramore happy to concede concession at this area of the field. Stranney on the ball again. It's coming into the corner. Across comes Dermot Costello. Dermot Costello puts serious pressure on, forcing him out towards the corner flag again and again and again. Play on, says referee Niall Ward, as the ball drifts out over the in line. Good defensive play by a fellow with number 15 on his back.
Yeah, well, in fairness to Dermot would have played every position from number 2 to number 15 for this club. So Dermot is a real utility player, and he's a hard-working player with a lot of talent. So he done great there not to give away a silly free, which a lot of people would have done.
Stephen Cohen moves it down the right-hand touchline. Up front we have Conor Kane, I think, going after this one. We haven't seen much of Conor so far. We're now in the 15th minute of the game, but he has pace. He missed the semi-final, he missed the actual Connacht final due to suspension, but he definitely made up for it there by taking on his man and producing a scoring chance now again for Hollymount-Carramore.
Yeah, well, I suppose the one thing about missing a game, you'll be fresh going into a game like this. So yeah, it's great to have Conor back. Like, I suppose I'd be as biased as anyone. I thought it was a harsh red card in the Connacht semi-final. But yeah, it's great to have him back. He gives us massive explosive pace inside, and hopefully now with Kevin Ferrick now with his left foot again, we'll have the same result as 7 minutes ago. It's 3 points to 2 here, so hopefully this adds to it. And he does. It's 4 points to 2 here in Kingspan Breffni Park after roughly 15 minutes of play. That's 2 points for Kevin Ferrick, and I think it's 2 points for Darren Cohn. So it's great to get on the scoreboard and keep it ticking over.
15 minutes, as we said, on the clock here. We now have 4 points for Hollymount-Carramore, 2 points for Loughinisland. As the ball comes down this side again, that man Dan Gordon is on the play again. He streams the ball across the half-back line all the way to his centre half-back. A hospital pass there, but McCarthy comes out on top. He lets that ball through. They're very, very good at cutting up the middle of the field. A pacey team. They like to run, they like to play, wait for the opportunity to arise as the melee of players goes down on the ball. We're waiting to see what referee Niall Ward judges this to be. Niall Ward from the Gary Castle Club in Westmeath, a Westmeath Bank official. Is he going to throw this one up? I think he is. Up go the hands and up go the bodies as the ball breaks. It's tight there, but it's adjudged to have been a free out and a free for Hollymount-Carramore. All the way up to Kevin Ferrick. He'll be buoyed by his 2 points from frees to build his confidence early in this game. This distinctive style of Stephen Cohen into his cousin Darren. It doesn't go to hand in this particular instance, and out away come Loughinisland. They're defending well as the breeze takes up here. The breeze blowing slightly from right to left is building up all the time as we've a few more challenges as number 12 Flynn brings that ball clear. The challenge comes in hot and hard. A lot of steps there, but play on, says the referee. Eventually McClemens comes away with the ball. The tackling is hot, as you'd expect in an All-Ireland semi-final. The tackling is severe, James Regan.
Yeah, we're in it to win it. No one is backing off here, and dead right, no one is backing off. But I have to say, we're hassling the guys on the ball very, very well. We're putting massive pressure. It's the way Tom Kennelly has these lads trained. They're working hard. They have a great attitude.
You can tell that there's a big prize on offer here. A place in Croke Park on the 6th of February for whoever comes out on top here. It may take 60 minutes, it may take 80 minutes, but we'll definitely more than likely have a result here today, as we just have a slight break in play here while referee has a word with the number 29 Seamus O'Hare. No, in fact not, it's a free in. It's just a brief chatting to as Darren Cohen lines up this one. Darren, as we said, he got a point from a free in the 2nd minute of the game. He got another one from play in the 4th minute. This is just, it looks good, it looks accurate. The umpires look at it and it's over the bar from outside the 45-metre line. 5 points to 2 with 18 minutes on the clock.
Yes, 18 minutes on the clock and 5 points to 2. We're delighted with that start. here on local streaming. Just to give a mention again to our sponsors, DW Dressing Services in Ballinrobe and Jerry Croghan Postal Services in Clamars and Ballyhonus. We wouldn't be going out here live today if it wasn't for our sponsors, so a big thank you to them.
Yes, definitely our sponsors are key to bringing us here today. As this ball comes all the way across the Loughinisland half-back line, out comes Loughinisland as the number 10 McCarthy comes away with the ball. They work this ball up the middle of the pitch. It has harboured 2 points already for them. Again, over-carrying overcarried there again. That's a few of them tight ones that have gone Hollymount's direction. It's building momentum here, as we said, at the moment. We have 5 points to 2 with 90 minutes in the crowd. We've nearly 2/3 of the first half completed, and it's looking good.
And just while the ball is around the middle of the pitch, I'd just like to mention a few people. We've a chance here, sorry about that. It just screwed off Robbie Malloy's boot and went wide. The joys of local streaming is that people all around the world can watch this game here today. So there's a few people I'd like to mention. Martina Colleran is watching over in New Jersey, and Morgan, Pamela, Louise, Michaela and Orla Colleran say hello from Hollymount. Niall and Louise McMahon, good sponsors of the club, are watching in New York, and a neighbour of mine, Shane O'Brien in Robin, is watching over in the USA, and my own brother Martin Regan is watching in Reading in England.
Yes, and we can't remember as well, we have to mention Niall McMahon all the way from New York, who is tuning in as McClements goes down the right hand touchline. He takes on Dermot Costello, a big man, tight angle, it's accurate, it looks good. He only had the width of the post to get it, and it's over the bar on that particular instance. Spearing run through the middle by McClements. I now make that 5 points to Hollymount-Carramore, 3 points to Loughinisland. It's heating up. There's not much between these two teams, James.
No, and we weren't expecting much to be in it. Like, we're both winners. We're both county champions. We're both provincial champions. So, like, none of us are used to losing. I'd say that's a 45. No, it's a wide. I have to say, we seem to be getting the rub of the green here in a lot of decisions, and we'll take every single one of them. And I see one of our sponsors sitting down here in front of us, Jerry Croghan, and he's on his edge of a seat. And the crowd here today is absolutely fantastic. I'd say it's in the region of up on 2,000 to 3,000 in my past leaving cert mats.
Yes. Thank you very much, James. Yes, indeed, the crowd is really getting involved in this particular game as Declan Feary clears a lovely long ball out. He's found one of the Costellos over there. I think, it's came through the hands. This time now it's on to Stephen Cohen. Stephen Cohen looking for the two-man full forward line. It hops in the greasy surface. Darren Cohen is there. The Loughinisland defenders go to ground. There could be a score on here. Through is Kevin Feary. Looks good. Off the post and out to the right and wide. That's a few now in a row, James. Wides. We had the Robbie Malloy miss there a few minutes ago, and Kevin Fearix there. It's about 3 wides now, registered 4 in fact, registered at the moment. We don't want that to build up.
No, like every score counts. They're vital here today, especially with the conditions. It's very soft underfoot, so we've had 4 wides here in the first 22 minutes, but we also have had 5 scores. So we'd have taken this. It's 5 points to 3 here after 22 minutes.
Loughinisland back on the attack again. They have an overlap as we get a scoreline. Ardnary Sarsfield 7 points, Rockcarry a point as Loughinisland go on the attack. It comes through the hands. Is this Mason again? He can shoot. It's high, and it's a point on that particular instance. I think that was Mason again. That's 3 points now for Mason already. The number 7 in his back, but definitely playing on the forwards.
Yeah, even though he's number 7 on the back, he started wing forward in the Ulster final. So I think modern GAA, the number on the back doesn't have a whole lot to do with the position you play in. And just while, this is a dangerous one. It was a hospital pass, but he didn't I don't think he wanted to go on a trolley.
No, definitely. And Barry Sheridan comes away with the ball through the hands to Stephen Cohen. He touches out the wing where I think that's Dermot Costello. He's playing everywhere. He's corner back 1 minute, he's wing forward the next minute as the number 2 Raymond Nixon challenges hard. It's adjudged to be a free in, but well carried. Some good team play all the way up the middle of the field, and hopefully another scoring position again. As we said there earlier, Ardnary Sarsfields are in All-Ireland Junior semi-final today down in Park Sean-Mock-Dermot with the same amount of time on the clock. They were about 25 minutes gone down there. Ardnary Sarsfield 7 points, Rockcarry only a point, so it's looking good down there as well for Ardnary in Carrick-on-Shannon.
Yeah, I'm delighted to hear that scoreline at the moment. Like Ardnaree, they're a great club, great supporters, and we had 2 challenge games with Ardnaree since our Connacht final, and they're a great club, and we wish them all the best. It would be great to have two Mayo teams in All-Ireland final, and that's another score on the board, which another vital score from Darren Cohen, our captain. It's great to see him so sharp here today. Just to give you a little bit of more people watching online, Andrew Ford, he watched it in Kosovo the last day. He's watching it in Strasbourg here today. And Jamie Burke watching from another exotic place in Scordon East in Garrymore, and he's cheering on our club. So it's great to have all the well wishes from all our neighbours.
Yes, it's great to have them from Strasbourg and Scordon listening in today and watching, streaming live here on localstreaming.club. If your club or your community needs anything streamed online, get onto localstreaming.club, and Liam back at the office will be only glad to talk to you. On this particular instance, this goes to the left and wide from Darren Cohen. The wides are mounting up now, and hopefully this doesn't come back to Rue for Hollymount-Carramore. We have exactly 24 minutes on the clock. We have Hollymount-Carramore on 6 points. We have Loughinisland from County Down on 4 points. Anyone's game at this stage as Dan Gordon goes high to take that ball from the clouds. A lot of ball goes through Dan Gordon in the middle of the field. He orchestrates the whole thing as it comes out to the left half forward, Johnny Flynn. Johnny Flynn takes that ball across the 45-metre line. I think that's Kevin Feerick back challenging. Kevin Feerick puts the hand in and holds up his possession. A slight little push, but Kevin gets away with it on this particular instance as the ball is turned over and out comes a white stream of bodies again. Long ball down the middle of the field. That looked like Ian Costello hitting it. The distinctive style of Darren Cohen on this particular instance has been adjudged to have fouled, and that's a free out for Loughinisland. As we said, the managers of these two teams, we have Jerome Johnson, who's the Loughinisland manager, while Tom Connolly, as we spoke about earlier, patrolling the sideline for Hollymount-Carramore. Coming through the hands again, we have Mason. He scored 3 points already, but he's back now in the half-back line as more defending extra defender. He has the ability to combine backs the defence to attack. He's back on the ball again between himself and Dan Gordon. A lot of the ball goes through them two guys, and they are creative. This time a hospital pass breaks around the middle of the field. Barry Sheridan goes down it. He spots Costello free. Overhit the pass. The outfield is strong down there, and it's gone out over the sideline. A line ball there in this particular time for Loughinisland. Loughinisland in the all blue, very similar colours as all blue and white as we were coming in today, but no doubting who's supporting who. The whites out here are definitely from South Mayo, and they are Hollymount-Carramore. Dan Gordon using his body strength into McClemens. McClemens turns and twists. He got a point earlier on the right foot. This one is on the left foot, but the wind just takes it out to the left and wide. How are we on wides at the moment in relation to Loughinisland? We have 4 wides on the board for Loughinisland. We have 5 for Hollymount-Carramore. 2 very equal teams here, James.
Yeah, and I have to say I'm surprised how open the game is. Like, I suppose all the talk coming into the game was going to be how defensive this game was, but I have to say we're both going for it. We're playing a tight game at the back, but once we get around the middle third, we look for Darren Cohen and we kick the ball in quick, but we're trying to use the breeze. But yeah, it's an open game.
Yes, and we have our junior reporter Liam Henley. He's doing great work here behind us. He's a Roscommon fan, and he's more interested in what's happening down in Tuam Stadium now for this run. Roscommon 6 points, Galway 2-4. That's in the FBD club final. That's down in Tuam, and we'll have updates from there as well throughout the course of the day. As Hollymount-Carramore come away with the ball again, it's been like a bar of soap around the middle of the field. It comes through the middle where Strani picks up that ball and lets it into the corner forward position. Conor McGoran on this particular instance, he's out in front of Darren McHugh. Darren holds him up and ushers him out towards the 45-metre line, all the way across the field where the 2 midfielders are lining her up. O'Toole to Gordon. Dan Gordon, he moves it inside the 45. Well met that time by a big man, Keelan McNamara. 2 big men as Pádraig Feerick. We haven't seen an awful lot of Pádraig so far, but hopefully that touch will get him back into the game. One of the spiritual leaders of the team as well, Pádraig, and had a good Connacht final. but we need to see. We'll see more of him again here today.
Oh yeah, Park is a big player for us here today. He actually won the Intermediate Player of the Year this year now, and he played with the Mayo Juniors teams in Croke Park, so he's looking to get back there for the second time. I think Park is doing a job for us here today. He's marking one of the Loughinisland key men, so he mightn't be getting on the ball as much, but neither is his man. I'd like to apologise for my pronunciation of Loughinisland. I think it's my South Mayo accent.
Yeah, Loughinisland, we worked on that during the week. We haven't come across Loughinisland much before, but we definitely know what they're all about today. Yes, Porrick on the ball this morning, famous for his famous cows that he has to milk every morning before he comes out to these matches. He's also going out with a girl from Loughinisland, so the icy tension in the relationship these days. No doubt she's here listening on and not knowing who to shout for. As the ball comes in over the top, I think this is Conor Kane on the ball. It's his position. He turns back to the left foot, back to the right foot. It looks good, but it's out to the right and wide. If we look back through, we saw that Conor Kane got on the score sheet. Did he get on the score sheet earlier? He didn't, in fact, but in that particular instance, it drifted out to the right and wide.
At the end of the first half.
We're in the 29th minute of the game here as the public address announcer announces that we'll have 4 minutes of injury time. On the attack, it comes across the square, but cross comes the number 4 for Loughinisland, Mickey Cochran, and it goes out for a long ball, or is it a 45 over the corner? Correction here, 2 minutes of 2 minutes of additional time. Or is it 1 minute, in fact? A muddle sort of a speaker here at Breffni Park. I think it's 1 minute that will be going. We'll know in a second when the board comes up to tell us. As a free comes in from that side, a line ball. In fact, it's gone between the posts. Can you believe that? Straight between the posts from out near the sideline. In fact, it was a sideline, Jim. That's Darren Cohen's 1, 2, 3, 4th point of the first half, and will lead them nicely into half time.
That was an unreal score. It was right in the corner where the end line meets the sideline, and he caught it sweetly and it flew over. I tell you, his dad, PG Cohen in Kilrush, Hollymount, would be very, very proud of that. And we're on the attack here again now, and it would be a great way to go in at half time with a 3-point lead.
Yes, definitely, and we've a goal chance again. Is coming through as Robbie Malloy. It looks like he turns back to his left foot, he chips it high, but it goes across the face of the goal and wide on that particular instance. Yes, definitely Darren Cohen. Have we ever seen anything like that much before? He might be doing it down in the saucer, down in Hollymount pretty frequently, but on that occasion, right out on the sideline, split the foot. He had only the width of the ball to hit to get through the post, but he got it through there. The Loughinisland kick out has been held up by the breeze as Kevin Costello, one of the 3 bowlers from Hollymount-Carramore in this attack. It comes into the cornerback, young Fearick, and that's a Declan Fearick out to the right and wide. I think he had a chance earlier on which hit the post. That one drifted out to the right and wide, and these wides will begin to mount up for Hollymount-Carramore, and hopefully they won't rule them in the second half.
Yeah, we've had 8 wides here now so far in one game of football, which is a lot. Tom Kennelly will want to get them into the dressing room at half time and just tell them to settle down and take that extra second as the half time whistle blows here. From my own point of view, as being a Hollymount-Carramore man, I'm happy with the scoreline going in at half time. We've had viewers, we're just looking here on the IT website. We have viewers in the UK, we have viewers in USA, Australia, New Zealand, Bolivia, South Africa, France, the UAE, Austria, Bangladesh, Belgium, Bermuda, Cambodia, Canada, Poland, Qatar, Switzerland and Thailand, and that's the power of local streaming, and that's the power of club football.
Yes, definitely there's a serious interest in this match today from every corner of the globe. People leave their shores, they play underage football, they play a bit of football with their clubs, they have to go out abroad, but when they go out abroad it's great to get back in contact with your local club through local streaming, and that's the service we try to provide as best we can. Half time here, as we said, Loughinisland 4 points, Hollymount-Carramore 7 points, and if we look through the stats of the first half, we look Darren Cohen, he got on the scoreboard after 2 minutes from a free. On 4th minute again, he got another point from play. Then Rory Mason came into the game. Rory Mason got 3 scores, in fact, for Loughinisland. So it's tit for tat at the moment. The breeze is going to be a factor. If it does take up in the second half, it's going to be a major factor. It is building up as the day has progressed here in Kingspan Breffni Park. But At this stage of the game, James, going in at half time, you'd be happy as a Hollymount-Carramore supporter. 7 points to 4 up, but we know 3 point is a dangerous lead in the GA.
Yeah, 3 points is a dangerous lead, and it's the type of game now that there could be a slippy goal. But we'd have taken this before the game. We'd have bitten your hand off for a 3 point lead in an All-Ireland semi-final. But the only thing is, and it might be hard for the viewers to see, but there's a strong breeze out there building now, and we'd have had the advantage of that. The only thing, we would have good experience from the Connacht final, from playing against a strong breeze. We played in Salt Hill that day, which is renowned for having a breeze, and we worked it well. Our style of football is to work it well from the back, and we're joined here in the media box here in Kingspan, Breffni Park, with Kevin McHugh, brother of the fullback Darren, who was having a good game. So Kevin, what are your views on that first half of football?
Hollymount-Carramore doing really, really well. It's a really, really physical match out there. Loughlin Gales, there's the down team, very, very big, very, very physical team. But what about that score at the end? Darren Cohn has just scored the score of the championship. No matter what you see in 2016, all year long from now to the end of the year, that score is the score of 2016 already. What a score. Under pressure, couple of minutes to go, no bother to him. About a metre out from the sideline, he just kicked that score, caught the wind perfectly and straight over the bar. And in games like this, it's a 1 point kick like that'll make all the difference. You could see the lift after that. After that kick, we had 3 or 4 chances based on that score. So in the second half, we're expecting some of the same stuff from Darren Cohn. Himself and Stephen have linked up really, really well this half. There's 2 sweepers in place for both teams. Barry Sheridan's playing well for us. I think Niall Campbell, it's live or die with the kick-outs, and so far he's done really, really well. One maybe went astray, but apart from that, he's been sort of a real key player for us. I think we're getting the better at the kick-outs. We're winning maybe 80-90% of ours. Theirs is more 50-50. They're looking for the big physical high ball that suits their team, and we're winning loads of breaks around the middle as well. So far so good. 3 points up. There is a wind there, but I'm very, very confident in the team. Like, they are a big team, but as my old school teacher used to say, it's not the size of the man, but the size of the fight inside of them. And by God, Hollymount-Carramore men are really, really standing up today. Every man is putting their body on the line. Robbie Malloy there, he's been unlucky twice, but you have to say he's getting into positions, he's creating the chances, and we just need 1 or 2 of those chances to come off. If we don't concede a goal, I am very, very confident that we're going to do it. In the words of Ger Lachlan, I think we are going to do it, hopefully, in the second half.
Yes, and I suppose when we look at it, it's going to come down to the finish. There's not going to be an awful lot in it at the end of this game. In 30 minutes' time, we'll know who's going to Croke Park. A goal could be the difference, a defensive error, hopefully it's not, but there won't be an awful lot in it. I think when we look back at the previous matches, both these teams have been unbeaten for a long, long time now, both in their county championships and the provincial championships. Do you think the tighter games that the Hollymount-Carramore have came through, especially against Melvin Gales, will stand to them here in the second half?
Yeah, I suppose we've had 3 tough games now. Like, we won the Connacht final by a point. We Melvin Gales went to extra time, and our county final against Neil. There were three tough games, which hopefully will stand to us today. But especially the Melvin Gales one, because we 14 players for the whole of the second half. So that will stand to the lads. They know how to work hard. They have a massive attitude, I have to say. They're a great bunch of lads. You know, they're 15, or I shouldn't say 15. There's 30 lads down there that are their friends and their neighbours, and they will fight and die for each other. So we've 30 minutes to fight and die for each other here today, and to get to Croke Park would be unbelievable. And the lads are doing everything right. They're doing the simple things well. The surface out there is slippy, but they're working around it. Niall is steady at the back. Ray is doing well. Darren is doing well. Barry is sweeping up. So yeah, they're trying to do the simple things as well as they can. We hope we'll be there at the very end. But just referring back to what Kevin mentioned there, that score by Darren Cohn right in where the end line meets the corner, Anthony Moore's under pressure to make sure he got that on camera, because that's going to be a YouTube sensation. That score, it was unbelievable. It's probably the best score I've seen at club football, and I see Anthony smiling back at me now.
Yes, and worthy, of course, of a place in the to get his team to an All-Ireland final. But when we're looking around the ground, we've seen the Costello brothers coming in, but there's an awful lot more in them. We haven't seen much of Ian yet. Dermot has been sweeping back. Kevin he's been more influential. Maybe there's a big second half in them. Keelan McNamara is doing good work around the middle of the field there, keeping Dan Gordon quiet. But I suppose it'll be all defensive. It'll be more defensive minded in the second half. And one thing I noticed from their Connacht final win over Moy Cullen, they broke very well and done well, just as good against the little bit of a breeze than with it. Kevin, you want to do?
Yeah, I think the first 10 minutes now coming into the second half is going to be crucial. Bodies will have to be put on the line. I know from our own team we have a great squad of players, so I'm expecting a few of the younger players to come in and they can run all day. So I know there's a big physical battle at the moment, but the players that are there at the start, they have to put their bodies on the line. It'll open up after maybe 50 minutes, and then a couple of the younger players will come on, and I think they can pinch a point for us. Dame O'Kelly is sort of warming up the whole time. I know he's carrying a knock, but I think he could have a big part to play in the second half. He can come on, he can break lines. He got 2 points in the Connacht final. He had a super game, probably the best game I've seen him play in years, and I expect him to come on later on. Conor Heenan as well is flying at training. He's light, he's nimble, or maybe the physical battle at the start wouldn't suit him, but as soon as this game opens up near the end, 50 minutes, he'll come in and he will pinch us a point. He's a super player, skillful off both right or left, and as well I think Louis Mackin has a big part to play as well. He's been very unlucky all year. He's been sort of pushing every player on the team for their place. I think as well, hopefully Ray will get to 40 or 50 minutes. He's put in a serious shift there in the first half. He's put the body in his line loads of times. He's gone through tackles. There's 2 or 3 of our players that have put their head, shoulders, fingers, everything in where you wouldn't put your feet. So I hope they can hold on for another few minutes, and then our bench will play a huge part then in the last 10 minutes.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Now we also joined here, Kevin, by Michael Gallagher from the Mayo News, or sorry, the Western People. Sorry, Michael. But you've been keeping an eye on the midfield battle, because you're intrigued by the midfield battle throughout the course of the first half there.
Yeah, Adrian, the down boys, they kept kicking the ball out to Dan Gordon, and it took Hollymount-Carramore a long time to cop onto that. Gordon either won it or funnily enough, Loughinisland won every single break, right, until about the last 4 minutes of the half, when Kevin Costello got on 1 or 2 there out here under us, and that seemed to change the whole momentum of the game. So I mean, it's not earth-shattering stuff. Gordon is a superb player, and Tom Connelly was shouting that all the time, that they were kicking it out to him constantly, and but the work rate of Hollymount-Carramore is phenomenal, as the boys said there. It's absolutely phenomenal. Every man is leaving everything out there, and rightly so, and as we've seen all year, I think Hollymount-Carramore are a superb second half team, so I'm expecting them to really push on now. As we all know, if Darren's on form, he's on form, and he is today, and but I think we've got to work the ball into Conor Keane as well, because Conor is capable of doing anything, and a good ball into Conor in the second half, and we can see goals coming off it.
You're a veteran of the club scene in Mayo, following matches here, there and everywhere. You've seen games like this where it's tight. There's not going to be an awful lot in it in the end, as far as I can see. How do you feel the game will change, or is there any way it'll change to advantage anyone?
Well, it's the clinicalness of it now. It's down there, I know that everyone will be passionate and all that, but it's the clinical message that you get through, the little thing that makes the difference, the winning of kick-outs, the composure when you're on the ball to take the chances, to put the ball away when we get the chance. We missed 2 easy shots there at the end. We could be 5 points up instead of 3. Little things like that. As I said, try and utilise more of our forwards. The down boys now are going to concentrate totally on Darren. 1 or 2 balls in each side, into the corner forward, into Conor Keane. We also know that, look at, if a goal comes now for Hollymount-Carramore, the difference is 6. If it comes for the down boys, the difference is nothing. A goal or 2 is going to be crucial, and I think, to be honest, if the down boys are going to win it, they've got to get a goal or 2, because I don't think they're going to get it in points, and they're renowned for goals, and they have opened up Hollymount-Carramore a number of times, which would be a bit troubling. They hold back, and then they run at pace down the channels, and they hit the diagonal ball. So I mean, it's all to play for, but our heart and soul is with Hollymount-Carramore now, Adrian, and we can only imagine what they're going through in the dressing room. And look at, their 30 minutes from Croke Park. They'll never ever be in this position again, so they've got to take it now. Exactly,
and I'll let you get back. Thank you very much, Michael Gallagher from the Western People. Let you get back to your station for reporting, and thanks very much for that. With me as well here is young Liam Hennelly, and Liam, we're not on camera here as the pan's in on the field, but Liam, you've been doing a little bit of work over the last couple of weeks, or last couple of games, with Liam Horden on local streaming.club. Have you enjoyed your time with it?
Oh yeah, I'm really enjoying it. As each match goes on, I'm enjoying it even more.
Good man, and you're doing great work in the background here, keeping us fed with information and results. I know you're interested in the match down in Tuam today. You're a Roscommon man at heart, from St. Bridget's in Roscommon. How are they getting on down there?
They're currently trailing by 5 points, I think. It's 2-5 Galway to 6 points.
Very good, very good. So Roscommon Trail, you won't be happy with that, but at least they have 30 minutes left in that to get the FPD Cup. Who would be your favourite Roscommon player? Probably one of the Bridget's lads, is it?
Yeah, Sen and Kilbride, I think.
Sen and Kilbride, very good, very good. And have you any more fixtures from around the country for us today to pick up on?
Yeah, Ardnaree are currently beating Rockcurry by 5 points. It's 8 points to 3 over there.
Very good. So that's down in Park Sean, McDermott and Carrick-on-Shannon. Thank you very much, Liam Henley, and hopefully we'll get more reports from you throughout the course of the half. Okay, as we come back here, we see that Hollymount-Carramore have taken the field again for the second half. James Regan here beside me is going to keep an eye on any changes in personnel to the Hollymount-Carramore team. Kevin, thank you very much for your half-time analysis, and hopefully we'll have you up here in 30 minutes celebrating, although the down viewers may not think that, but hopefully we will. Thank you very much, Kevin.
Yeah, I'll just take this opportunity before the down team come onto the pitch just to thank our sponsors again here that got behind us for the local streaming, and that's Jerry Croghan of An Post Ballyhonus and in Clamars, the postal service, and DW Jetting Services in Ballinrobe, and thanks to JJ Welsh there. We couldn't run a club without our sponsors, and we couldn't run local streaming without the sponsors, and the generosity of the local people, the local parish, our local families have absolutely been brilliant. So thanks very much to Jerry Croghan of An Post and of JJ Welsh of DW Jetting Services to sponsor us here today. We're waiting for the down team to come out here. There's no changes to my own team, Hollymount-Carramore, as we will be starting the second half 3 points up, 7 points to 4. As I mentioned, the ground has cut up a little bit. It's a very spongy, very soft, but in fairness, the amount of rain it's made the last 7 to 8 weeks, it's the best the pitch could be. I see Tom Kennelly, he's just walking around the pitch there giving some advice. Tom, a former captain of our club, the Hollymount club, he was the captain when we won the intermediate title back in 1989. So it's a great link to have. There's winning on the sideline and there's winning on the pitch. So it's great. And in fairness, I'll take this opportunity too as well to mention all our management. We've a hard-working management team, spearheaded by Tom Kennelly, and along by him then is Paul Kane. He'd be our trainer. We've Kevin Tierney, we've Pat McCartan and Eamon Hammerock, and then our stats man, the man who doesn't know. I'm getting confused. He's so good at GA, Paul O'Malley, a good friend of mine. He keeps all the stats and he keeps everything rolling. And the amount of work our management team put in behind the scenes is a credit to them.
Yes, as there seems to be a delay in the Loughinisland coming back on the field. Hollymount-Carramore are out there. Referee Niall Ward and his officials have taken their positions as we're waiting for Loughinisland. We'll take this opportunity to do a little bit of the history of a Hollymount GA club. A very, very big club back in the early 90s, winning the county senior football title 90, 91 and 94, I think, after winning an intermediate football title in 1989. You were a young kid on the block then, not playing, too young to play in that particular team, but you were playing on the 94 team, but it must have been a great time for the club for that development throughout being in county senior finals for a small club like Hollymount all the way back then.
It was a fabulous time. Yeah, we won the intermediate title in 1989, and we went on defeated in championship for 2 years because we went on to win the senior title, or 3 years. Sorry, we won intermediate in 89. We won senior in 90 and senior in 91. So it was a phenomenal team that came through the club. We had a 2 year gap then, and we won the title again in 94. And then just to bring us up to present day, we amalgamated with our neighbours Carramore then in 2011, and to form the club Hollymount-Carramore. So this is our first success as an amalgamation, and it's a great thing to have. I was on the panel in 94, yeah, thankfully, but I was only a young lad. I was 16, so I got a soft county medal. I didn't really earn it, but I have it at home. Loughinisland must be having an extra bun or a cup of tea or whatever. They're leaving us waiting here. So I'll take this opportunity just to mention a few other people that are watching online. Mickey Moore is watching in Perth, a former player with the club and a good goalkeeper. And I'd like to mention Fergal Owens. Fergal Owens was cornerback for our club for the last 2 to 3 years, but like a lot of current players, he injured his cruciate ligament, but he followed his recovery plan to a T, which is very, very important, and he's back out togged here today. It's great to have him back, and the lads are now entering the pitch. And also I'd like to mention Amy and Matthew Waldron watching this game live in Tulrahan in Cloonfad. 2 great supporters and 2 great relations of my own, so a big shout out to them.
Yes, indeed. As Loughinisland take the field here, we have to remember that local streaming.club bring you this event today, and we have to mention also, keep reminding you of our sponsors throughout the course of the day. We have Jerry Crahan on post services in Claremorris and in Ballyhaunis. We have DW Jetting Services from Cloongowla and Ballinrobe who came on board. Our own local streaming.club has a Twitter account. Find them at local streaming, and a Facebook account at local streaming. So if there's anything you need to know, get in contact there. The second half is just underway as the ball is thrown in. We start the clock here for this. I don't think there's many changes on either team, as has been announced by the advertiser here. This is Kevin Costello, I think. We didn't see much of him in the first half, but already he's on the ball. He takes that ball all the way across the 45-metre line. The half-time break done him good as he doubles back and lets it across the middle to Stephen Cohen. Hefty challenge coming in through to Ian Costello, but it doesn't go to hand. Loughinisland turn over the ball as it comes back to the number 5, Paul Digney. Paul Digney comes through. He lets it off to Dan Gordon, but play on, says referee Niall Welsh. Number 14, McGorney, a long way away from his vantage point. Mason tears down the left-hand touch time. He got 3 points in the first half. He shoots, but it's high and it's out to the left and wide. The pressure there, I think, from Declan Feerick done enough to put him off balance so that he didn't get his shot on target, but definitely to be viewed for the second half.
Yeah, he's a vital player for them, Ryan Mason, and Declan Feerick has been given the task of marking him. Declan started corner back, but he's actually playing out around the centre back, but he timed his tackle well there and just put off Ryan before the kick.
McGoran back on the ball and back to Mason again. He's in a better position. It comes in high around the house. It's juggled on the goal line by Niall Campbell, but play on, says the umpires. It must have been close. He'd take a second attempt, but definitely Niall Campbell came out there happy. Barry Sheridan here at this instance in a little bit of afters there with Ryan Mason. It's brought forward, but 2 or 3 attacks there up this wing for Loughinisland haven't scores as Keelan McNamara gets on the ball. It's touched away from him by the other midfielder, Darwin O'Toole. O'Toole gets in. It changes hands 3 or 4 times. A big melee has built up. It's gone through the hands, but eventually it comes into number 10. Number 10 is John McCarthy. He's eventually fouled, and the mess is cleared up as Niall Ward signals a free to Loughinisland. As we catch our breath here after a hectic start. No scores, but it's been intense stuff here at the start of the second half. Loughinisland go on the attack across the halfway line. Number 10, McCarthy, is on the ball again. He lets it do to Stretton. Back to Dan Gordon outside the 45. He fancies his chances. It's drift out to the left and wide. They're accumulating for Loughinisland now as well.
Yeah, that's their second wide of the second half, and hopefully it saps their confidence, as I say that with my big biased head on me. So they've come out the stronger team here, but they haven't scored, which is the vital part of any match. We need to get back into this game again. Now Kevin Costello got on the ball there at the very start, but a bit of a slice kick out here now, but thankfully it's worked out for us. But yeah, we need to get into this game, and I see Conor Hanahan warming up there on the sideline, so I'd expect him to be coming in fairly soon.
The veteran of the team, Ray Kennelly, comes out and wins that free. He hands it off to Stephen Cohen to take the free kick. It comes across the field to Robert Malloy. Robert's back to Stephen Cohen. They're working it through. Darren McHugh in an unventured point up in the half out. Conor Kane is through. He's taken on his man. He's coming in on the sideline. It's up and it's over the bar. And that's what we said at half time against the breeze. Hollymount-Carramore very good at attacking into the teeth of the breeze.
Exactly, that was a great score for us. As I mentioned there, Loughinisland came out strong, 2 wides. We get one chance and we take it, and that's what football is all about. Conor has explosive pace. All he needs is to get the ball in his hand and he will take off. So yeah, if we can keep the scoreboard going over and keep them at arm's length, hopefully we'll get there.
You alluded to it at half time. If Conor Kane comes more into the game, there's a better chance as the ball comes in over the top from Mason. Out comes the goalkeeper, but it breaks to Darren McHugh. He was up in the half-back forward line a few minutes ago. Now he's back to his usual berth in the full-back line and was vital there in cutting out that clearance. Down goes Kevin Costello. He lets it back to his brother Dermot. Dermot carries it through the middle, but lets it back to Stephen Cohen. Keelan McNamara back into the play. He sees the younger Stephen Cohen running on his shoulder and gives him the ball. Down goes Mason. He falls in the field. It's coming through to the sharpshooter, Darren Cohn. Darren Cohn turns back, turns forward. He shoots on sight, a half block. If that trickles wide, it could be a 45, but there's not enough momentum on the ball, and it breaks into goalkeeper Kieran Gordon. Kieran Gordon lets it out to his number 6, Conor O'Toole. Back through the centre to Raymond Nixon. Raymond Nixon, he's caught on the edge of his D, but he casually lets it through the hands. It's working over the stand side of the field. Number 5, Digney, goes to ground, gets a little touch from Conor Kane. Accidental on that particular part, but nevertheless a free. We have 5 minutes gone here in the second half. We have 8 points to Hollymount-Carramore wearing the white. We have 4 points on the board for Loughinisland from County Down. At this stage of the game, James, you'd be happy as a Hollymount-Carramore supporter.
Yeah, to have a four-point lead is a great lead, you know. But we need to keep them at arm's length. You know, any chance we get, we need to take them. You know, so there's a bit of a break in play, which probably suits us a little bit, because even though we're the only team to have scored in the second half, Loughinisland probably came out stronger than us. Conor Heenan now has the top off, so I wouldn't be surprised now if he comes in the next couple of minutes.
A substitution there at that little break in play for Loughinisland. Number 27, Paddy McKinney, is on for number 11, Ryan Stranney. Ryan Stranney handled the ball in the first half, but Paddy McKinney is in his place as Hollymount-Carramore get a chance to shoot. But this time Stephen Cohn, a veteran of the Mayo minor team from 2013, which won the All-Ireland Senior Minor Championship. It's hard to believe it's 3 years ago since Stephen Cohn lifted the cup at the steps of Croke Park. Will he be back in Croke Park again after today's match? We're not sure, as the ball comes down through to McGoran. McGoran takes on his man Dermot Costello, but this time Dermot Costello is adjudged to have fouled McGoran, and it's a free for Loughinisland over the stand side of the field.
And just with this break in play, I'd just like to mention Martin Brady from Claremorris, who's watching all the way in New York, and that's because of the joy of live streaming here. Oh no.
And on that occasion, Rory Mason again showed his composure and that trusty left foot to swing it over the bar, almost Darren Cohn-like, similar to the first half. 6 minutes gone here in the second half, and that brings it to 8 points to Hollymount-Carramore, 5 points to Loughinisland, and that will give them confidence at the start of the second half. A beautiful score with the outside of the left foot from Rory Mason. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we have Stephen Cohn on the ball. He clears it out to Pádraig Fierick. Pádraig Fierick playing over the far side of the field, even though he's wearing the number 5 jersey. He's closed down and he releases the ball. Conor Kane, who got that point in the 33rd minute of the game, he gives a lovely ball to Keelan McNamara. That's a fair sprint for a big man, but Keelan goes down on it. He's a big man. He's followed by Mac Clemens for Loughinisland. Ian Costello, we haven't seen a lot of him today. He's an influential player and he hasn't had the rub of the green again today, but he's still going strong. All the way out to the right hand forward positioned, and that's John McCarthy for Loughinisland. Through the hands again, the big man Dan Gordon picks it up. He's shimmies left, he moves over to the left foot. He's drawn 2 or 3 opponents and lets it back to his number 6, Conor O'Toole. Conor O'Toole all the way through to the number 10, John McCarthy. He shoots from distance. Goalkeeper Niall Campbell looks at it. It goes straight between the posts. The long range shooting is working for Loughinisland, James.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a bit worried here now. Like they've got 2 scores there in a row, and they're the team on top. I noticed Stephen Cohn there when 2 or 3 minutes ago when he got a scoring chance, he wasn't able to pull the trigger because of this breeze. So like we're under pressure here now that we're going to have to work the ball into the 21-yard line to get into a scoring position.
That was James McCarthy's first score of the game in the 39th minute of play. The score now stands Hollymount-Carramore at 8 points. Loughinisland from County Down at 6 points. We have 20 minutes to go, 21 minutes in fact to go here in this particular game. It's going to be a long 20 minutes no matter who you're supporting. Even if you're a neutral, it's going to be tight, it's going to be all the way to the wire. There's not going to be an awful lot in this at the finish up. As through comes Robert Malloy, but that pass is overhit. It comes all the way back. It comes all the way back through the hands. This is one of the Costello. I think it's Dermot. Three brothers in this half forward line and full forward line for Hollymount-Carramore. Very similar in stature, very similar in style. Pádraig Fierick, scoring chance. Stephen Cohen, 14 yards, high and over the bar. Hollymount-Carramore, every time Loughinisland score at one end of the field, they reply at the other. A sign of a good team.
Yeah, we need that score. We need to keep this gap between the two teams, because it is the type of game that is going to be a slippy goal, or so we need to take every chance we get. But as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we need to work the ball in so close to goal to take these scores. It's hard to maybe see on the camera, but there is a strong breeze there if you see the flags.
Yes, definitely 9 points to 6 in favour of Hollymount-Carramore. We had 7 points to 4 at half time. 2 points in the second half from Hollymount-Carramore, one from Conor Kane, and that one just there from Stephen Cohen in the 41st minute. The two Loughinisland scores came from Rory Mason again, his fourth of the day, and James McCarthy as a free comes in high and it's over the bar. Was that Ian Costello that time? He wasn't much in the game in the first half, but that point was vital.
Oh, Ian struck that beautifully. He's got a great strike at the ball, and that was a fantastic score. To get two in a row like that is fantastic. And like Liam Kearns in Clamars wants to give a big shout out to Ian the Gertlock Bear Costello. So thanks for that, Liam, and also for all the lads watching the Convent Road.
Yes, Ian Costello, we said he didn't do much in the first half, but he showed his class against the teeth of the breeze, hung it up there, and it sailed over the Loughinisland crossbar. And Melee here on the edge of the D. Niall Ward sorts it out by giving a hot ball here on the edge of the D. In comes Keelan McNamara and Dan Gordon. The two big men go up. It goes through the hands, but number 8, Davin O'Toole, takes that. Davin O'Toole, and that's going to be a free out for Loughinisland. Ball touched away by Darren Cohn on that notion. It's moved forward another extra 13 metres. Dan Gordon steps over it. I see a substitute, number 21, warming up down here. That's Conor Hanahan, getting ready to be introduced to the fray by manager Tom Connolly. The long range shots again, this time from Loughinisland. I think that's number 27, the substitution, Paddy McKinney. That's 3 long range points in a row for Loughinisland.
Yeah, and it's a credit to both teams here with the underfoot conditions, that there's been some fabulous scores here today. Again, I'm surprised how open the game is, for two defensive-minded teams, how open the game is. But there's been some fabulous scores here today. I think we may have got a lucky rub of the green there, but we will take it. The next couple of minutes, it's there for anyone now who grabs the game by the back of the neck.
Yes. Whoever grabs the game by the scruff of the neck now will be in the winner's enclosure. Pádraig Fierick tearing through a distinctive style of play. He's tall, he's rangy, he cuts through the tackles. It comes back to Stephen Cohen, outside of the right boot, as he done from the other side of the field earlier. That's the sort of thing that wins All-Ireland semi-finals.
Yes, you need something special. Like you can be the best hard-working team in the country, but if you don't have a touch of class, you won't get there. But Darren has class oozing out of every pore of his body, and that was a sweet score with outside of his right. And we see Conor Hanahan entering the fray for Conor Kane. Conor Kane left everything on the pitch there. He had a great 15 minutes of the first half here, and we're delighted here now to be 11 points to 7 up after 13 minutes the second half. And again, I'd just like to say thanks very much to the sponsors, Jerry Crahan of An Post Ballyhonus and Clamars, and JJ Welsh of DW Welsh Jetting Services Ballinrobe. 53
minutes gone. Darren Cohn with that last point for Hollymount-Carramore, his 5th of the game. Inspirational stuff as on the attack come Loughinisland through McClements. It's breaking into the number of substitution 25. It's bombarding around the goal left and right. It's low, it's hard. Goalkeeper down on it. He picks the ball up. He comes out through a melee of players, and that's going to be a 45 metre free here, I think, but it could have easily been a goal for Loughinisland. In stuff here, James.
Oh, I have to say it's a brilliant game. The excitement is unreal. There's people jumping off their seats. It's an exciting game. But the down team had a massive goal chance, and Niall Campbell earned his salt there. He got down well twice in the game, or in that period, and saved us there. And he was maybe unlucky not to get the free out, but he done really, really well.
Yes, definitely. You can tell that there's something big on offer. On offer here is a chance to play an All-Ireland Intermediate Club final in Croke Park on the 6th of February. Both of these teams going at it, hanging in hammer and tongs. As Rory Mason lines up, he got 4 points in the first half. It drifts out off the post, in fact. It's gone along, running by the end line here. We can't see it. Down to the corner of the field. I'm not sure if our cameras will pick it up. It's tight in the corners. It moves all the way out to the number 12. And he's Johnny Flynn. Johnny Flynn brings it into the corner, all the way out to the number 5. The number 5 is Paul Digney. Paul Digney moves it through the hands to Davin O'Toole. Davin O'Toole all the way across the space over the far side of the field as I think this is Dan Gordon. He can shoot, as he showed earlier on that he could shoot, but this one is, look, as if it's drifting and it's out to the right and wide. Must say, extremely good defending by Hollymount-Carramore, restricting Loughinisland to long range shooting.
Yeah, and that's the basis of our game plan all year since Tom Kennelly took over the team, is, you know, to get players behind the ball and don't give anything away easy. Like if you can restrict any team to anywhere between 5 and 10 points, you know, you have a better chance of winning the game, and that's what we're trying to do here today, is not give them any easy opportunities, and we're making them work for every chance and score. So yeah, it's 11 points to 7 here now, and I've said it a couple of times now, but we would have taken this.
Yes, definitely. We're into the final quarter of the game. 15 minutes gone in the second half. A lot will depend on the finish up of this game, as always does. Who has the mental strength, if they're behind, to come back into the game, if they're in front, to hold on to the lead. As we see a substitute from the Loughinisland team, number 18, Sean Cochran, takes to the field instead of number 5, Paul Digney. So number 18, Sean Cochran, replaces number 5, Paul Digney. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, we see another attack. Min over here for Hollymount-Carramore. This could finish it. It comes through the hands. Darren Cohn! And it screams across the face of the goal and wide. That could have put you on the road to Croker, James Regan, but instead it drifted to the right and wide.
Yeah, if we'd taken that would have given us a little bit of a cushion, but it's a shame we didn't even get a point of it, but it was a well-worked move, and hopefully we'll get another one once we don't let them in for the same type of chance.
Mason is cutting in across the touchline again. He's met with a melee of tackles. The ball comes across. Barry Sheridan there again. He moves it out to Stephen Cohn in the middle of the D. He's held up by the number 27, the substitute. It's ball out to Keelan McNamara, but it breaks nicely to Robert Malloy. Robert Malloy comes away with the ball. He has oceans of space as he crosses the halfway line. Darren Cohn is out in front. In fact, it's the substitute, number 21, Conor Hanahan, on this instant. The number 4 from Loughinisland cleans up, tidies up. The substitutes are beginning to enter the fray, left, right and centre, as the ball drifts across to this side of the field. Number 12, Johnny Flynn, all the way through the hands. You wouldn't believe it's the 24th of January 2016. This is a great, entertaining game of football, end-to-end stuff. As Dermot Costello goes down on that one. In fact, that's Kevin in that particular instance. It's tight in the corner. I think that's Pádraig Feerick. I'm looking at him here through a dodgy piece of perspex, but I can see it. It's coming through the hands. Robert Malloy, a big frame of a man from left half back. He brings it through to Ray Kennelly, quite in the second half so far, but he's working the ball. Hard to believe he's 40 years of age. He played in Croke Park, Ray Kennelly, back in the 90s in All-Ireland finals and run-ins. Is he going to be back there again in 2015 as a 40-year-old player? The referee has adjudged that to be a free after the ball was kicked, and we look as if we have another scoring chance. Is this Kevin Feerick territory? Is he still on the field?
Yeah, Kevin is still there now, but Darren is coming out to take it. Darren has a strong strike at the boot, and he's renowned for striking with the outside of his right, so I'd say this is Darren's territory. And just while there's a break in play, I'd just like to mention a few people who are watching in New York. From a strong Carramore family, we have Esther and Olive Dixon, and they're watching, as I said, in New York. And Shane Mackin, a former goalkeeper with ourselves, he's watching it over there in New York, and his brother David would be a substitute in our team, so hello to everyone there in New York watching it. And as I mentioned, it's 11 points to 7 here, and there's 19 minutes gone in the second half.
There's a man I'm familiar with just after coming on the field, a man by the name of Gareth Johnson. They call him Magic. He's gone in full forward for Loughinisland. He's more renowned as a hurler. He plays full forward. He has played full forward for the down hurlers for years, and he's gone in a serious frame of a man. As Darren Cohen lines this one up, he can't repeat the feet of the first half, and this one drifts out to the right hand side and wide. 19 minutes of the second half gone, just 11 minutes left. We have 11 points for Hollymount-Carramore. We have 7 points for Loughinisland as Kevin Costello goes on the attack. He drops it in low, but goalkeeper there underneath it is Kieran Gordon. Kieran Gordon dishes off to his defenders, who in turn carry that ball out of the danger situation. Turning back inside is Johnny Flynn. Johnny Flynn twisting and turning, waiting for an opportunity to arrive. Number 10 is John McCarthy. John McCarthy takes it through. Two very leader-like wing forwards, but this time across comes Dermot Costello. Illegal challenge, says referee Niall Ward, and that'll slow down the whole process of the Loughinisland attack. As we draw our breath here in Kingspan Breffni Park, we have exactly 20 minutes, just 10 minutes plus whatever stoppages are added on at the end of full time. Rory Mason, he can kick them big, a left foot into Johnson. He's a big man, he drafts it back, it's gone through the hands, a melee of players to block there. It touches off a Loughinisland hand and out and wide. Serious defending in there by the Carramore Hollymount defence.
I'd say Tom Kennelly has it ingrained in our defence here today, no goals, because they're putting their heads and hands in where you wouldn't put a head of a pitchfork.
Yes, this Loughinisland team have scored 8 goals in their last 2 championship match. They scored 4 against Railth Namara in the Ulster final. They scored 4 against Hamlet in the Ulster semi-final. They haven't scored any game today, and if Hollymount-Carramore can hold them out for the last 10 minutes, they're in a serious. They have 1 foot on the bus to Croke Park. Stephen Cohen touches that through to his midfield partner, Keelan McNamara. He's wrapped up by Dan Gordon, but it breaks. Luckily back to Stephen Cohen. Dermot Costello on the ball. He twists and turns. He's been hassled by number 27, Paddy McKinney from the Loughinisland team. It's been brought forward as well for a little bit of descent, and this comes within territory for a shot again. We take an opportunity at this stage to update you on what's happening in Port Sean, McDermott. Ardnary of Mayo, 10 points. Rockcarry of Monaghan, 5 points. They're at the same stage down there with 10 minutes to go. Could we get 2 Mayo teams in Croke Park on the 6th of February? As it stands at the moment, that's the case. As Darren Cohen lines up this one, it touches off the post, over the bar. 12 points to Hollymount-Carramore, 7 points to Loughinisland. There's a bit of daylight coming between the teams.
Yeah, but a bit of daylight, but it's not sunset yet. We have a nice little lead here, and I tell you one thing, Darren Cohen just oozes class. Absolutely beautiful scores here today. Maybe the break with his hip injury done him the world of good. And while I'm on the mic, I'd like to say hello to Pat and Tracy Rowan, and they're watching from Jersey City, and Martin Brady sends in that hello. So the local streaming is going well here. People in 20-25 countries are able to watch it here today, and yet again that's thanks to our sponsors Jerry Cohan on Post and JJ Welsh of DW Jetting Services. But yeah, we've a nice little lead here, but I wouldn't put my house on it yet.
Through goes McClemens. He's gone round 3 or 4 Carramore defenders. He takes his shot, but freeing in fact from Niall Ward. He was allowing an advantage as Aaron McClemens was tearing through the Carramore defence. He shot high, his ball did in fact go over the bar, but Niall Ward has called that back for a free in. A very, very scoreable free here. Number 25 for Loughinisland stands over. It's Stefan Mason who has entered the play. We also note here that number 17 for Hollymount-Carramore, Louis Mackin, is about to enter the fray as 25 Stefan Mason records his first score of the game.
Yeah, Louis Mackin is coming on there, and it's Ray Kennelly. In fairness, Ray left everything on the pitch, and that's the ploy the lads on the sideline have played all year. start Ray, let him give everything, and then Louis comes on. And like Louis is very lucky not to start. We're very lucky in the club. Like we've 25, 30 lads pushing for 15 positions, and any successful team need that. And Louis is going to slip in there in the full back line, and you won't notice any difference. Yep. And there's 24 minutes gone here, and we lead 12 points to 8.
Yes, definitely. It's building to a crescendo here in Kingspan Breffni Park. The crowd know that there isn't long left. We're down to the last 6 minutes of the game. Hollymount-Carramore on the ascendancy. The Costellos are driving the attack. He lets it into his cousin Darren Cohen. Head up from Darren. Robert Malloy is out here free over on the touch side. It's through to the new substitution just on the field. In fact, he was pulled back just as he was about to kick that ball. What an introduction from Louis Mackin. That could be a vital part of the game if this goes over the bar.
Yeah, I have to say Tom Kennelly's very smart on the sideline, because to freshen things up, the pitch is very heavy out there, the lads are getting tired, so to bring on the likes of Louis, who's an athlete, who'll run up and down for the last 6 minutes of normal time here, is a smart bit of management. And Louis got that free there, and now Kevin the Gooch Fearick with his new haircut now will hopefully pop this over. And yet again, I just want to mention the crowd here today. I'd say there's roughly 3,000 people here today, which is an absolute credit to the both clubs. And Kevin taps that over with a gentle little strike at the left foot. So we've taken a 13-point to 8 lead here after 25 minutes, and I think it's a case of not making any mistakes now for the last 5 minutes, and hopefully we'll get over the line. It's an exciting game. My heart is thumping, my hair is falling out.
Yes, whatever's left of it there, James, has fallen out. Kevin Fearick with his third pointed free of the game. How important are they going to be? He got one in the 9th and the 15th, and again there on the 54th minute. It's now Hollymount-Carramore 13 points, Loughinisland 8 as they go on the attack. It goes through the hands, number 13, McClemens has handled an awful lot of ball here today. He lets that back to McGorry. McGorry cuts through, he lets it off to the big man. Is this Gareth Johnson? He turns down, he turns in, he turns out. They're trying to create a goal scoring chance. It comes across the face of the goal, but that is definitely over the bar by full forward Conor McGoran for his first point of the day. We're now in the 26th minute of the game. This is a vital intersection now.
Yeah, the game is there to be won now with 4 minutes left. 4-point lead. We saw with the Mayo under 21s yesterday up in Donegal. They had a 4-point lead going into the last couple of minutes, and Donegal pegged them back. So look, we want to see this game out, so maybe we might have to be a little bit cute. Don't give any stupid freeze away. Don't do anything daft.
Yes, with 4 points in it, 4 minutes left on the clock. It's all about the fours as Loughinisland stream forward again. Number 18, the substitutes back to Mason. It touches off a foot. I think that was number 6, Barry Sheridan. A vital interception, and it finds over the bar. We're down to a 3-point game, James.
Yeah, nervous times here. We haven't got our hands on the ball now in the last 3 minutes, and we need to get a grip back on this game. Even if it's only to waste a bit of time, we need to start heading towards the corners. Just anything to get to Croke Park. What this would mean for us as a parish, as a club, as a community, to get to Croke Park would be unbelievable. But we are so far away from there yet.
Mason got 3 points in the first half. He got 2 in the second half. His last one there in the 57th minute to bring his team back within touch and distance of Hollymount-Carramore. 1 score between the teams. 13 points to Hollymount-Carramore. 10 points to Loughinisland. We have exactly 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes in fact left on the clock, plus whatever time has to be added on by referee Niall Ward here. More substitutes are lining up along the touchline to enter the fray and to slow down the clock. Keelan McNamara, I think it is. He's through on goal. He shoots into the teeth of the breeze. It's hanging, it's looking, he's going for the flag, and it's over the bar. Was that Keelan McNamara?
That was Keelan all day long. Fair play to you, Keelan. That's his second score of the championship. He scored one in the county final against the Neil, and he's after pulling one out of the fire there. That was brilliant, Keelan. Well done to you. And Ian Costello is going to the sideline after leaving everything on the pitch, and Brian Maloney makes his championship debut in an All-Ireland semi-final, and he's gone in there to replace Ian Costello.
Yeah, he's a new boy on the block, a bit like James Regan back in 1994. Let's hope he doesn't bring anyone down for a penalty. currently in around the Loughinisland goal mouth. I hope you've had words with him at the start of the week and told him the pitfalls that are there. But on come Hollymount-Carramore again. They're through. They're gone to 14 points now to 10 as we enter the last minute and a half of normal proceedings. This is where the experienced team will close out the game, and no better than Pádraig Feerick to have the ball in his hand as long as he doesn't give it away. Into Louis Mackin. Louis Mackin through the hands, just hold possession of the ball. Hollymount-Carramore, and we're on our way to Croke Park. Back it comes through the hands. Young Feerick got onto Declan Feerick that time. All the way through to Pádraig Feerick between the Feericks and the Cones. I'm tongue-tied here today. Robert Malloy lets it into the full-back. Darren McHugh, what's he doing up there? He lets it back, but it goes through the hands as Loughinisland. No, they haven't possession yet. Back to pull of the jersey, and is that pull of the jersey going to be a sign that Hollymount-Carramore are going to get across the line as we enter the last 30 seconds of the game? James, what exciting stuff.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's a brilliant here. I'm shook, but I have to say the lads are playing really well. They're doing the smart things. They're playing intelligent football. They're not wasting ball. They're taking frees when they can take frees. They're looking for men. They're not trying to get glory themselves. So they're playing really well. The likes of Robbie Malloy there, Darren McHugh, like doing the smart things, doing the simple things, do them well, and you stand a great chance of winning. Darren Cohn is lining this one up on the 13-yard line, and this would be a great score too, because he's only 5 yards in from the sideline.
The news filtering through from the other semi-final is that St Mary's of Castleiveen 220, Ratoath 1-5, and they looked as if they're going to be joined by Hollymount-Carramore up there. A Mayo versus Kerry final. We never like playing Castleiveen or Kerry teams, and the thoughts of Maurice Fitzgerald will come back to haunt us. As who was that one? Darren Cohn touched over that one.
Oh, this is the Darren Cohn show here today. Darren has been absolutely fantastic. The quality of his scores here today have been on a par with Maurice Fitz that you mentioned, Castleiveen. They've been beautiful, they've been perfect, they've been emotional, they've been absolutely beautiful, and it looks as if we might have one foot in Croke Park here because we're in injury time.
1 minute of injury time to be added on here by referee Niall Ward. We're in that minute at the moment, so it's at his discretion. We look through Darren Cohn. He has scored 8 points of his team 15-point tally today. He has really produced the goods as the final whistle is blown here in Breffni Park, Kingspan Breffni Park, and Hollymount-Carramore all the way from South Mayo are heading for Croke Park. How does that sound, James Regan, to you?
Oh my God, sorry for the scream off air there, but this is brilliant. We are going to Croke Park. Hollymount-Carramore, a small club from South Mayo, cushioned in between the likes of Garrymore, Davits, Claremorris, Ballinrobe, are going to Croke Park. We'll be playing in the GAA headquarters. Oh, this is beautiful. This is brilliant. It's sexy, I have to say. It is probably the best thing that has gone on in South Mayo in I don't know how long. And it's great. I think Ardnaree will also be in an All-Ireland final, and I hope to God Castlebar Mitchells are there too. But this is a brilliant day. The lads worked so hard from the throw-in right until the last second there. They deserve it. I'll be honest, they deserve it. The lads on the sideline deserve it. Tom Kennelly deserves it. The club deserve it. We've worked for this. We didn't do it the easy way. We tried our best. We tried to play football. We had a system. We stuck to it. And one thing I actually have to mention, I don't think there was a yellow card here today, so that's a credit to both teams. They tried to play football. They were an honest bunch of lads. There was 36 lads out there who left everything on the pitch. And commiserations to Loughinisland. They're fantastic Ulster champions, fantastic Down champions, but I have to say we're fantastic Connacht champions, we're fantastic Mayo champions, and I'm absolutely delighted.
All right. And the news filtering in from Park Sean McDermott that Ardnaree will be joining Hollymount-Carramore up in Croke Park on the 6th of February, James. It'll be a real Mayo affair. There'll be buses going from Ballina, there'll be buses going from South Mayo. It'll be exciting times. Opposition for Hollymount-Carramore confirmed as St Mary's of Castleiveen. Not sure yet who won the other football semi-final, but going on form, it's probably Temple No of Kerry. They were playing Caraha of Meath today, but knowing that it'll be an all-Mayo and possibly Kerry affair in Croke Park on the 6th of February. But yes, for the 24th of January, what a game of football. Two teams tore into it, hammer and tongs. And as James Regan said, not much indiscipline throughout the whole game. Well refereed refereed by referee Niall Ward as he kept control of the game, as we watched the Hollymount-Carramore team savouring in the atmosphere. The fans stream onto the field to join their local heroes. The bus left this morning for about 8:15 from Hollymount. It stopped at the low cross in Carramore, and all the locals cheered them off. It's very, very emotional for all them people and James down here to see your team going up the steps of Croke Park and going into the dressing rooms of Croke Park to play out on the hallowed turf. There are over 1,600 GA clubs in Ireland. Not many of them get the chance to play in Croke Park, but James Regan, your team are going there. You've gathered your thoughts over the last couple of minutes. We're waiting on Kevin McHugh to come up and join us soon to do a little bit of analysis on that game. How are you? What's the next couple of weeks going around? Remember, you don't have much time now. Today's the 24th of January. You've only 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks to get ready for this.
Well, I think that's a good thing. We'd only 2 weeks after the county final, and we went on and won that. We'd only 2 weeks after the Connacht semi-final, and we went on and won that. And then 2 weeks to the Connacht final. So we have momentum now. We're a happy bunch of players. We're a happy club. And I tell you one thing, this is brilliant. There's lads down there. I'm looking down at them. They're so happy, but they deserve it. They've worked hard. The next couple of weeks, we're going to enjoy it. I'm sure there'll be write-ups in papers, there'll be write-up in different media outlets, whatever. But the lads will remain focused. They're a smart bunch of lads. They're well clued in. Tom Kennelly is smart. So they'll enjoy it tonight. But they'll be back there Tuesday, Wednesday night. It's great getting to an All-Ireland, but once you're there, you want to win it. So they'll train hard. But I have to say, I see Darren Cohen coming off the pitch, and I have to say that was probably one of the best performances I saw from any player I've watched in a club match, or even at a county match. The skill level, it was just brilliant. And like everyone, I shouldn't just single out Darren. From Niall Campbell in goal, made 2 stunning saves. That kept us in a game when there was only 2 points in it. We deserve it. Keelan McNamara, who wouldn't be renowned, he'd say himself for scoring, came up there and gave us an insurance point, and that lifted the team. The crowd on the sideline lifted the team. The roars here was actually hard to hear ourselves talk at times with the cheering. But I'm looking down there, there mustn't be a person left in the parishes of Chaheen or Robeen or Roundfort, because I'd say everyone is here. It's brilliant. The colour out there is blue and white and yellow. It's fantastic. I'm losing my voice and I'm going to cry.
James, we'll let you get on emotionally over there in the corner. I'm joined again at the end of the game, as I was at half-time and at the start, by Kevin McHugh. Kevin, that was scintillating. I don't know if you enjoy matches or not watching them, but boy was that close. I suppose it was all the way to the 58th minute of the field when Keelan McNamara put over that insurance point. You could relax possibly from them, but up to then it was helter-skelter.
Oh, what a second half by the team, nail-biting stuff. I was looking at Keelan coming in there at the end. I was telling him and shouting him to bring it on another bit, but he had the confidence and the fair play to him. He stuck it over from 30 yards. There was 2 men on his shoulder, but he had the confidence to do it, and he stuck over that insurance points. For me, what a performance. It was Darren Cohen in the first half, but what a performance by Stephen Cohen in that second half. Unbelievable. And this is a man that hasn't been training for the last 2 months. He's been carrying injuries, knocks. He's been doing a lot of work in the gym, but he hasn't really been at the training sessions during the running. And what a performance. The fitness levels is unreal. The maturity of this man is unreal. But it was a real team effort from 1 to 15, 1 to 17, 18 that came on. The 2 or 3 subs make a big impact. Louis Mackin broke through there the last couple of minutes, got a real handy free around the 14 yards, and Kevin Feerick had the composure just to tap it over the bar. But this is a great day for a club. Very exciting stuff, and a fantastic day all around.
Thanks a million, Kevin. Yeah, the two of us are here. We're getting emotional, and I'm absolutely delighted to bring in one of the stars of the show, Conor Kane. I mentioned in commentary he missed the Connacht final through a harsh red card, I have to say, but he came back here and gave a starring display. So, Conor, how do you feel?
It's surreal at the minute, Jimmy. I don't know. We'll see now. We'll be preparing over the next few weeks. I think we'll have to keep it pretty much the same as we've been doing the last few weeks with training, and I know a few of us boys are back to college now and that, so we'll just see how it fares out. Might have to make a few trips back and forth, but all be worth it. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. You're buzzing. So you won't be stopping off in Jordan's Claren Bridge on the way down to Limerick.
We'll keep a few pints to another few weeks, I think. We'll have a good.
Yeah, no, I have to say, we mentioned it here in commentary. You started very strong in the second half. You got on a lot of ball there in the second half, and had Tom any wise words to say to you at half time?
Not really. He just said get the ball into the hands. I suppose I found it hard to get onto the ball in the first half. I don't know. Sometimes it works that way when you have the breeze. You can't really get it in. But luckily enough, I got my chance the second half to get on a lot of ball. And
No, I have to say you played really well, and I just mentioned Niall Campbell there. He made a couple of good saves, so I have to say from 1 to maybe 17, 18, everyone done well out there today.
Yeah, it was a good performance by everyone. I think everyone. I think the ground is a bit slippier there than you might have thought looking at it, but. Yeah, it's real shoulder to the wheel stuff there for the second half especially, and really proud of all the lads. It was great effort.
Yeah, I'd say your dad Frank is a happy man.
He gave me a big hug there, just as I was in the dugout there. But yeah, I'm sure he's very proud of all of us. So it's excellent. I can't wait.
Yeah. And I tell you, it's a fantastic day for the club. Like like I mentioned there in commentary, like you're 30 lads, but you're also 30 friends.
That's it. Yeah, we're a very close bunch, and we're getting along fairly well all the year. Like, and we just can't wait now for the next. To get to Croker and give it a shot.
Well, like you're a unique unique type of player that you have explosive pace, and you really showed that there in the second half. You got, as you mentioned there, you got in a lot of ball, and you gave it all. And I'd say maybe with you missing a couple of the last game, the legs tired a bit, but it was a heavy ground, as you said.
It was, yeah. It's slippy, yeah. It's slippier than it looks, so it's hard to, I suppose, get that sprint speed you want. But luckily enough, I got my chance. I was gutted to miss the last game, so yeah.
Oh. Well, I have to say you took your chance today, and well done, and thanks very much for coming up to join us and enjoyed the celebrations.
Thanks very much,
so yeah, it's a fantastic day here for the club. I just gave Conor a big hug there outside, and like I looked down, everyone is hugging everyone. It's a fantastic day. The buzz down there, the atmosphere down there, and like for a club for us, like a small rural club, like we're not like one of these big clubs in Dublin maybe, a rural club to be running out in Croke Park is phenomenal. And I'll hand over to Adrian because he might be a bit more neutral, but myself and Kevin here are fairly emotional.
No, thanks very much, and I must, before we wrap up the show, thank James Regan. He's the PRO of the Hollymount-Carramore GA club, but he goes beyond the bounds of duty. Kevin McHugh has came with us along the way, has never let us down all day. We might be doing the same in Croke Park, lads, so get the haircuts in line for that one. Just before we wrap up here today, we have to mention our sponsors again, the DW Jetting Services from Clonowla and Ballinrobe. Without their support, we wouldn't be here. Jerry Crahan on Post Services, Claire Morris and Ballinrobe, and of course to localstreaming.club for all your local club streaming. On Twitter you find it at Local Streaming, and on Facebook at Local Streaming as well also. We are on our way to Croke Park on the 6th of February. The final score here on the 24th of January 2016 in the AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Football Championship semi-final. We have Hollymount-Carramore finished the match with 15 points. Loughinisland from County Down 10 points. We're on our way to Croker. Over and out. $15-10. There was 5 points in the end. You got two very late ones there. Over and out. Are you happy? Ooh, how are we going there over there?